Hello guys! Today, magkakaroon tayo ng tutorial about sa C++. So, what is C++? C++ is a cross-platform language that can be used to create a high-performance application. C++ gives programmers a high level of control over system resources and memory. So, C++ is the one of the world's most popular program languages. So, to start using C++, you need two things. Number one, a text editor like Notepad to write C++ code. Number two, a compiler like GCC to translate the C++ code into a language that computer will understand. There are many text editor and compilers to choose from. In this tutorial, we will use an IDE. IDE means Integrated Development Environment. It's used to edit and compile the code. First, let's create our first C++ file. Open Code Blocks and go to File, then New. Write the C++ code and save the file as my first program. So this is our code. This code we call it syntax. So this first line include IOStream is a header file library that lets us work with input and output objects such as cout. Headers files add a functionality to C++ program. Line 2. Using namespace std means that we can use name for object and variables from the standard library. For the line 3, a blank line, C++ ignore white space, but we use it to make the code more readable. Another thing that always appears in a C++ program is endpin parentheses. This call a function. Any code inside its curly brackets will be executed. Next, cout is an object used together with the insertion operator like left shift to output print text. In our example, it will output hello world. So, every C++ statement ends with a semicolon. So remember, the compiler ignores white space, however multiple lines make the code more readable. Line 6, return 0, and the main function. 7. Do not forget to add the closing curly bracket to actually end the main function. So, a computer program is a list of instructions to be executed by a computer in a programming language. These programming instructions are called statements. The following statement instruct the compiler to print text. For example, the following statement instruct the compiler to print the text "Hello World." It is important that you end the statement with a semicolon. If you forget a semicolon, an error will occur and the program will not run. Most C++ programs contain many statements. The statements are executed one by one in the same order as they are written. The cout object, together with the left shift operator, is used to output values and print text. Just remember to surround the text with double quotes. And you can also use cout to print number. And you can also perform mathematical calculation. So our next topic is about data type. So let's start. So i-open natin yung code editor. Data type. So what are the different classes of data type? Data type. First, string. String of characters. For example, hello world. Second, character. A single character. For example, A, B, C, D. Integers. Whole number without decimal number. Float. Number with decimal values. For example, 3.144. Double. Number with decimal values. For example, 438.34876. Boolean. Boolean is have two variables, either true or false. Our next topic is variable. What is variable? Variable are containers for storing data, values. In C++, there are different types of variable. For example, int, stored integers, whole numbers without decimal, such as 1, 2, 3 or negative 1, 2, 3. Double, stores floating points number with decimal, such as 19.99 or negative 19.99. Character, store single characters such as A or B. Char values are surrounded by single quotes. String, store text and as hello world. String values are surrounded by double quotes. Boolean, store values with two state, true or false. So let's solve a problem. Our problem is write a program that will count points for a basketball game. Given amount of 2-pointer score and 3-pointer score, your program will calculate for the final points for the team and return that value using. So input the number of 2-pointers and 3-pointers. So cout left shift number of 2-pointers score and then cin 2-pointers. Next is cout the number of 3-point score and then cin the 3-pointers. Next is calculate the total points using the function. So integers and variables is total points equals calculate points and parentheses and 2-pointers slash and 3-pointers. Display the result. So cout left shift total points score. Next left shift total points. Our next problem is write a program that take hour and minutes as input and calculate the total of number of minutes. First, encode the syntax. And then we encode the data type. So our data type is integers. Next, our variables is hour and minutes. Put hour and minutes. Next, calculate the total numbers of minutes. The total minutes are calculated by multiplying the number of hours by 60, since there are 60 minutes in an hour, and then adding the given minutes of that result. Next is output the result. Cout shift left total time in minutes shift left again, total minutes, shift left, and minutes, and end time. Our next topic is C++ condition and if statement. If statement, you already know that C++ required that usually logical condition from mathematics. Less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or not equal to. This is the syntax of if statement. So if and then close parenthesis, inside of close parenthesis is condition. Our next topic is else statement. Use the else statement to specify a block of code to be executed if the condition is false. So the syntax of this else statement is, so let's solve a problem. Our problem is create a program that will input an integers and determine if the number is odd or even. First, let's include syntax. So the program prompts the user to input an integers, which number. Next is input an integers from the user. So cout, leaf shift, then enter an integers, and then semicolons. Next is cin. Next is check if the number is odd or even. We use if-else statement. Our next problem is write a program to find the largest of three numbers. First, let's include the syntax, and then the data type. So the data type is integers, and then the variables is num1, num2, and num3. So the program asks the user to enter three integers number. So let's input three numbers. Compare the numbers to find the largest. So we use if-else statement. So our next topic is for loop. For loop, when you know exactly how many times you want to loop through a block of code, use the for loop instead of a while loop. So the syntax of this for loop is for and parentheses, then inside of parentheses is have statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. So statement 1 is executed one time before the execution of the code block. Statement 2 defines the condition for executing the code block. Statement 3 is executed every time after the code block has been executed. Let's solve a problem. Our problem is write a program to display in terms of natural numbers and their sum using looping statement. Example output is input a numbers of term. The natural numbers of up to 7 terms are, and the sum of natural numbers is. So the program prompts the user to enter a number n, which represents the number of terms to display and sum. A for loop is used to iterate from 1 to n. During each iteration, the current number I is printed and it is added to the variable which sum. Our next problem is to write a program to print a square pattern with a hashtag character using a for loop. Program asks the user to input the numbers of characters for a side of the square. For loop run side times, it represents the number of rows. Next, the inner for loop also runs side times for each row, printing the hashtag character for file. Our next problem is write a program that will check the value of an input values then display the following message depending on the values assigned. So the temp remark is less than 0 ice. Between 0 and 100 is water. The accent on 100 is steam. Encode the syntax, followed by the data variables. So our data variables is data. Our data type is double, and the variables is temp. Next, input the temperature values. Check the values and display the corresponding message. And then we use if else statement.